Hi everyone, my name is Sam Johnson and I am a voice teacher. Visit my website, vocalease.net, if you're interested in signing up for Skype lessons. So I've heard all your comments, and today I am going to be reacting to EXO Acoustic Medley in SEOUL. I'm very excited. They're very good. I like the groove so far. And his hair.
She's my baby. 새하얀 그 손끝에.
He's really cool. He's flipping on purpose just for that breathy effect on the top, and then immediately after he goes and sings the same notes in a different style. Not a different style, a different coordination where his vocal cords are together instead of apart.
녹아버린 초콜릿에. You're walking into my door.
There's no weight to it. It doesn't sound like a heavy or dark sound. It just sounds like his human voice, which is why it works and why he didn't have to struggle at all to go to that A. It's got a lot of style.
서글픈 밤에 커튼을 열어 빛에 물들인 눈물로 편지를 보내요. Remember 그대가 힘들 때면 항상
Very nice harmonies.
눈물을 웃음과 바꿔줘. 없는 곳에서 울지 마요 don't cry. 눈물이 많던 그대라서.
One thing I'm really impressed with them technically is so far most of them have been spending a lot of time singing notes in the tessitura of their breaks, of their bridge, the passaggio. So a break in the voice, or passaggio, a bridge. A break isn't a good word, it's too violent. But a bridge is where the sensation kind of moves from your chest up into your head, or from one place to another. That's where a bridge is. And they're typically in the same area for most people, just because there's not like a ton of difference between humans. But they are singing in the tessitura of that. They're just on top of their break the whole time, and they're not making it heavy. They're actually using a lot of very light sounds where it might be a little bit more breath than vocal cord closure. By doing that and keeping it even across all of the words that they're singing, it sounds great. It sounds consistent. It's not like they sound like one person in their lower notes and a different person on their higher notes. They sound like the same person all the way through, and it's that consistency that allows them to tell stories with some sort of authority authentically as themselves, because they sound like a person. And that's why people love them, is because they sound like them, and someone will be able to pick out each of these different voices because they're not trying to be something that they're not. When they go into their tightest harmonies, none of them use vibrato. They don't use a ton of vibrato in most of their stuff anyway, but it's completely straight tone.
It's my turn to cry. 내게 맡겨요. 그 눈물까지 this time. 그 눈물까지 this time. 그 눈물까지 this time.
People love him. See, that's right up on that A, or that E flat again. It's like they're writing in a way that is purposefully hard, but they know what they're doing, so they can.
꿈을 깨워 그리고 멀어져 절 찾는 저 너머로 또 길을 잃었나 밤 공기가 집 차가워.
A lot of times students or people who are singing in Korean or Chinese or Japanese, they get very syllabic with how they sing. It's da 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 da, which interrupts the breath flow. The vocal folds work best when a constant stream of air is moving past them rather than a da 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 da, really broken up stream of air is moving past them. These guys are good singers because they're allowing legato to move through their phrase rather than getting caught up on each syllable.
So baby hold on 널 혼자 두기가 거리를 두고 너의
Oh, this guy has a cool voice.
쓰러지는 달빛에 샤워 본 적이 없어 그림처럼 멈춘 네가 보여 그 시선 끝에 닿을 수가 없는 남길 수도 없는 곳 수면 위에 비친 건 그 사람이 아니야 내려줄 수 없는 싶은 너의 sorry 가까워질수록 더 아파질 테니
I like how during that last phrase, or that last section, it was growing each person. It was switching back and forth between people, but they were listening to each other in a way that allowed them to come in matching the last person's energy and then letting the phrase grow smoothly rather than having it be big tiers of volume. Also, that last guy who sang, he is playing around a lot with flipping for effect. He's playing around a lot with pulling up a little bit of extra connection for effect, but he's just playing around with his voice. It's very free.
Stop, 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 yeah. 그 사랑만은 stop, 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 yeah.
Stop, 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 stop. It's still a continuous airflow.
다가가지 마, baby. 그 날개가 젖었네.
Are they friends? Is there drama? It seems like they're all really cool with each other.
Baby 不想让你走后 no 所以我流眼泪喘息不停追胸口 oh no 因为我心痛记忆甜美抹不掉所以不想离开请你握住我的手不要走
He has great vowels, so he's not cracking. He's making really good choices with his vowels. You see a lot of stuff going on in his neck, though. I think that he is creating a little bit too much pressure underneath, and if he relaxed into it a little bit more, and then once he got used to singing it in a smaller, lighter, lower volume place, leaning into it, and trying to get some of the muscles in his neck to stop caring so much. I think that would be nice.
이별이 완전 난리야 사랑을 살는 남이야 한 배순간을 날 무슨 거야 영원 같던 찰나 오늘 같은 순간을 한순간 뚫고 가 공기처럼 이 세계가 불러주면 나에게로 다가와
So is he the one that raps a little bit more? Because he actually has a very nice spoken voice and a very nice sung voice. Rapping and singing, they're really quite close together, actually. I believe that the best singers take the best parts of their speech and translate that over to their singing. If you take the best parts of your speech and translate it over to rapping, which is basically just sustained singing lines that keep more around the same pitch, or they'll move around with the pitch bass, but they'll just stay up here for a little bit, and there are a lot of syllables for a minute, and then it comes back down, and there are a lot of syllables, or the times where it goes up and down a little more, and there's more flow to the thing. It's all the same. The techniques that you use for good singing are the same techniques that you use for good rapping, which is why it seems like some of these... I'm pretty sure that one of these guys is a rapper, and I thought it was that last one. But he does fine because he's a trained singer also. So they have most of them singing harmonies, and they're starting in a kind of lighter place, which is nice around this F. Call me baby. That's a note that people really want to squeeze. And so countering that squeeze, that urge to squeeze, with just a little bit more breath going through with this breathier tone has helped them find a place of relaxation in that place. And then they have the one person singing on top of it, singing the lead, and he's not doing that same thing. He's letting his vocal cords stay together a little bit more. He has more whine in his voice, like more cry. It's kind of like if he was singing everything like this, call me baby, versus call me baby, just a lighter place. Having that contrast between the two gives the song a lot of texture. Their sound guy is great. One is one of the most commonly difficult words to sing. One. A lot of times people go, one, like you're the one for me. All of them are singing the same vowel, which helps in blending. And that vowel is one. You're the one for me. You're the one I want. Keeping it narrower like that makes everything easier. His voice is a little bit further back than some of the others. I haven't heard him singing a ton, specifically in this one. So there's him and the guy sitting to his right, and his voice is just a little bit further back like this. It's not a bad thing. He still sounds balanced through that, but I like going back and forth between the more forward sound and that kind of back sound between the two people. It gives it some contrast, which just makes things more interesting.
두 발이 닿는 곳 네 모든 게 다 너를 꼭 닮아서 나 살고 싶어 매일매일 이곳에 살게 해줘 하루 종일 네 곁에 자신감이 않아 왜 꿈이 아닌 건지 나도 믿기지 않아.
It's this cry. It's like a baby who's about to cry. That's all he's using is that little cry sound. It thins out his vocal folds and it makes the top sound very easy to produce.
손으로 이제 리듬을 조금씩 타보세요 이제. 자, 몸짓 탈출. 자, 리듬부터 시작하는 겁니다. 여러분들.
Another song that grooves hard.
시간아 조금만 더 달려줄래. 어둠이 내리게 해줘.
Does he sing lower than that ever? That's like around the D.
고개 들어 바라볼 수밖에 나 한없이 닿을 수 없나 따라가 봐도 잡을 수 없나 손을 뻗어도 왜 이리 멀까 날 기나긴 밤을 깊은 한숨만 반짝이.
So it started with ma, where everything is together, and then ma. It's kind of like a yodel actually, where your vocal folds go into a different coordination when they go to the higher note. But he's done that so many times that he can choose what tone he wants on the first one and on the second one. That one was cool because he started at the very top in that breathier place, and then as he started coming down, he crescendoed into it. He started getting louder, and his body responded by having his vocal cords come together a little bit more, and it was like a gradient coming down from this light place to this really heavy place. It's a lot of skill to do that. That's a super fun recording. I like how they keep their voice easy through the whole thing. They're playing with a lot of lighter sounds, which I haven't heard them use as much in some of the other clips that I've reacted to. And I like that. I like that they're playing around with different configurations in their voice. I like that they go back and forth between them very quickly, where it goes from a really heavy place to a light place. I like that they know where in their voice feels comfortable, and they spend a lot of time there. One thing that I think they might want to play around with some is creating that more present sound without as much pressure coming from underneath. Because if you have all of this pressure, if you're flexing a lot, or if there's some extra tension in your throat that's creating extra pressure, it's just a little bit of a compressed sound. So if I was speaking like this is it with a little bit of pressure. Whoa! Where it's got a lot of compression, where it just doesn't feel quite as good. Where if I back it off a little bit, I still have connection, I still have support, but whoa! Versus whoa! I just hear a little bit of that in some of the phrases, and that explains why in some of their other videos they weren't as successful with some of this stuff. Is if you have a little bit too much compression, a little too much tension and pressure, things get harder and inconsistent. But for the most part, they sound like they absolutely know what they're doing, and most of the sounds that they're making sound intentional. Thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, and go to my website. Check out some of the content that I have on there. I haven't listened to a lot of K-pop before, but I'm really loving learning more about these guys and how they're singing, and it's super fun. So thank you.